There we go. Hey, 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 beautiful beings. How are we all doing today? My voice is a little bit croaky this morning, so I do apologise. If you are catching this on the live and you're joining from my Facebook group, then do let me know your name, because it comes up in the comments as just Facebook user, so I have no idea who I'm seeing, who I'm talking to, etc. If you're watching this on the replay, then do comment replay. So there's a few things that I wanted to talk about today. The first one is that I'm going to be sharing a channeling that came through yesterday around sort of the modification, if you like, of human beings, which is a bit deep for a Sunday morning, but that's what came through. So that was something that I felt called to share. And the other bit as well is around sort of like the pace of the energies at the minute. So the energies are moving so quickly that sometimes it's difficult for us to sort of feel as if we're keeping up with that energy. So I just wanted to share an example with you for myself. So just before Christmas, I was in touch with a journalist who asked me to do not an interview, but to do like one of these mediumship things for a magazine. And I was like, oh yeah, that would be brilliant. So at the end of January, I did this reading for a lady. And this week, it appeared in, can you see that? In Take a Break magazine. What do you call it? Hold on. Take a Break, Fate and Fortune. Okay, so I did this reading at the end of January, and yeah, got 10 out of 10, which was awesome. But when I read it, when I picked up the magazine, normally I'll be like, oh my god, I'm so excited, and this time I was like, oh my god, that's not me anymore. And, you know, that was only 3 months ago when I did that. But it's like I know in my heart that I'm not, I don't want to do mediumship readings anymore. So, you know, just sort of like speaking to loved ones, it's a beautiful gift. And, you know, it's something that everyone is capable of and everyone can do. But I'm like, that's not where I'm at anymore. So since the end of January and now, like the change has been absolute, like for me, it's been quite massive. And it's being aware, I think, at the minute, because these energies are changing so quickly, that if, for example, you wake up one morning and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, or this doesn't bring me passion anymore, I'm not excited by what I'm doing, you know, then just think about how can you change it? How can you do something different? What is it that you really want to do? What are you enjoying? So I did LinkedIn now have this new option where you can do polls. I don't know if I'm saying that right, POLLS, you know, where you can ask a question and do surveys. And normally I share my stuff on there all the time and I get like no engagement. But because this was a new feature, there was over like 1,500 people looked at it. And all I asked was, I said, you know, if you weren't being paid money for the job that you're doing, would you still do it? Yeah, because I said, I love what I do. I love creating. I love writing. I love doing my healing elements. You know, I love like just trying new things and going in different avenues and etc. So I was like, I would still do what I do. And I was like, I know it's quite a bold statement. I was like, would you? And 60% of people on LinkedIn said that they basically, I put the option, I said, hell no, or yes, my purpose is my passion. And 60% said hell no, because they don't enjoy the job that they're doing. So we weren't put here, if you like, to work and do things that our soul and our heart doesn't want to be doing. So I just want to sort of like invite you to ask yourself, you know, every day, like, what can I do today that's going to light my soul? You know, what avenue do I want to do? What's fun? Yeah, because what you'll find is the more that you're doing something that's fun, that's creative, that you're enjoying and that you're passionate about, the more abundance will come your way. And it might not necessarily be money, but it might be, you know, friendships, or it might be, you know, someone gifts you something. I was talking to a friend the other day, and she was saying that she'd done a massage for someone and he didn't have much money, but he gifted her a food processor because that was something she needed and she wanted. And it's like, you know, thinking about the things that you want to sort of attract into your life based on what you're doing and what you're putting out there and what you love. And it doesn't just have to be an exchange of money, it can be something else. So I just want to share that with you, first of all. And then what was the other things that was coming up? Oh yeah, so Myself and Shana, who is over in the US, we ran our first women's circle last week, which was so beautiful. And we did a lot of talking about sort of like past lives, ancestral healing, relationships with mothers, and the mother wound. And there was a lot of stuff that came up. We did an 1.5-hour session, and it felt very cathartic for the women who joined us in that circle. So what we've decided to do going forward for the next few weeks is to do these on a donation basis. So if you've never been to a women's circle before, you're more than welcome to come in. I'll put the links in the comments below for where you can join us. So we're going to be running that on Monday at 8 p.m. British summertime, or GMT, whatever you want to call it, here in the UK. And it's going to be 1 o'clock, I believe, Mountain Time over in the US. So if you want to join us, you are more than welcome. Like I said, we're going to be running it on a donation basis for a short while. So you're more than welcome to that. Yesterday, I was also guided to create a light language workshop and activation session, which is going to be the second weekend in May. And that is looking at what light language is, how I can work with you, how I can help you. And then I'm going to be running a meditation as well, where I will be sharing some light language to activate stuff, I call it stuff, within you. So the last thing I wanted to do was to share this channeling that came through, this channeled message for the collective. Or just one other thing that has been coming up for myself a lot, and I feel it's for the collective as well as myself, because when I get told things like 3 or 4 times, it's often not just for me. So I'd gone for a walk by the river the other day, and my Native American guide joined me. Often he's very quiet and he doesn't often say anything, but he just sat with me and he just said, listen. I was like, listen to what? And he just smiled. And I was just like, you're always so cryptic with me. So left it. And then the next day I channeled a little piece about listening and speaking less. And then I saw something on Instagram about listen. So I feel as if very much at this time, for many of us, it's about really listening to our fellow human beings and, allowing them to talk and to be able to hold that space for them. If they're feeling scared, if they're feeling fear, if they're feeling anger or joy or whatever it is that they're feeling, and rather than us forcing our opinions on them and saying, well, I think this, just giving them that space to really listen to them and just sort of like, nodding of the head and going like, I hear you. Yeah. And just leaving it at that rather than us pushing like our opinions and our egos onto them. So that was just something as well that was coming through this week. Okay. So this was the channeled information that I received yesterday. And it followed a reading I did for a lady. And so I've still been continuing to do my past life readings. And the last couple that I've done this week, I've had one where I was shown what he did in this other space that wasn't planet Earth and what his role was there. I kept swearing through the reading because I was like, oh my God, I've never seen this before. This is awesome. But it was really interesting to see that. And there's an interview that I did on YouTube with Stephen Towell, and we talked about lives between lives and where you go in between when your soul leaves planet Earth, which was really interesting and fascinating. But that came up in a reading I did. And then the next reading I did for a lady, again, I got a past life. And then all of a sudden there was the goddess Freya with us. And she was this goddess in a past life. And I was like, wow, this is really awesome. I was like, I'm loving these new things that are coming through for people. So the readings that I'm doing these short 15-minute past life readings, but it seems as if there's more knowledge and more insight coming through, and not just sort of who you were as a human being necessarily, which is absolutely fascinating. So anyway, following that, this was the message I was given. The energy of all goddesses and gods are within you. The energy of all ascended masters are within you. You have the capability to tap into them. The 144,000 souls are the ones who began life here on Earth. They are the ones who through every lifetime have fought for humanity, been sacrificed, created new ways of living and being. Every revolution, these 144,000 souls have been at the forefront every time. Yes, they have had some lifetimes which have been peaceful and quiet, but then they came back, every time to raise humanity to the next level. The human beings you are today are not the human beings you were created as. The initial model has, shall we say, been adapted and modified to suit a system and a world which is not set up for you. The world we envisaged was always one of peace and love, unity and strength. As you know, this was corrupted from very early on in your existence. We kept trying to start civilizations from scratch, but our plans were always thwarted. Eventually, we decided to stop, resisting and surrender to see how you human beings would manage, and you have all done an amazing job. You have survived much longer than we thought. We thought World War II was it, but no, humans kept evolving and adapting to their environments, which we found very interesting. The 144,000 souls are all in their positions. They know what they have to do. They know what they need to do. It is not what you may think, and it may not be initially obvious to the outside world, but they are prepared and have everything they need to assist Earth at this time. No one can fix the outdated system. It is not up to anyone to fix the political system, education system, or media. It is up to you to create new ways of living and being. It is up to you to choose love over fear. It is up to you to hold your head high and speak your truth. It is up to you to place your head on the parapet and say no more. It is up to you to raise your vibration through meditation, dancing, singing, and spreading joy. It is up to you to gradually make your way out of a system that doesn't serve you. It is up to you to be the change you want to see in the world. You are the change, no one else. You. As you begin to do these things for you, it will start movements and change. Be the catalyst. Be the fire starter. Live the life you came here to live, not the one you have been told to. Not the life you have been sold. Not the life that is not for you. If you have that deep inner knowing that you are here for a reason, this is the time. Ask in meditation, what do you want or need me to do? If the answer feels scary, you're probably on the right track. We love you. We are here for you. Be the catalyst. And right at the bottom, I always find it interesting, you know, this journal. If you've never seen them, they're beautiful by, what's his name? Tony Comine Salerno. And at the bottom of the page, it says, to be free, to be at peace, to love and be loved. This is my destiny, which I feel is really beautiful. So, yeah. So these, I don't know if you've seen them before, but there's been like a lot of talk around in the spiritual community around these 144,000 souls. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. And it's sort of like one of those things where I was like, who are these 144,000 souls? And I don't think that even we're meant to know who the 144,000 souls are. But just keep being you, you know, like the channeling said, you know, raise your vibration, meditate, journal, really enjoy your life, you know, and rather than thinking, oh, I can't do that or I can't do this, think about the things that you can do, you know. So yesterday I went out and had a coffee in town with some friends and was chatting and meeting other like-minded individuals, and then went and had a beautiful dinner with some friends, and you know, just really connecting and being outside and being in nature and making lanterns and just doing things that brought me joy, you know, and peace as well, because as you begin to do those things for yourself, it sort of radiates out and you share that with others. So I will leave that there for today. So thank you very much to those of you who have joined me. Truly appreciate it. If you're watching this on the replay, then I hope the message resonates. I hope you enjoy it and have a fabulous, fabulous week. Namaste.